Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Fuel for Success. This is episode number 132, and it's the 3rd of July. I'm excited. Tomorrow is the 4th. That's actually, you mentioned yesterday your second favorite holiday. I think it's mine too. I'm a patriot at heart. I'm an American. I love America. I'm going to celebrate tomorrow. And good morning, my friend.
So when you say I'm going to celebrate tomorrow, what does that mean to you? Are you wearing American flag boxers? Are you going all out like celebration?
You know, that's a good question. No on the boxers. Um,
Okay.
and Here, we'll try and turn him up, Karen. I got a little audio issue maybe. I'm also going to turn me down because then it balances out. You can turn up your speakers locally. Okay. So, we've actually got a little thing going out at our campgrounds. I'm fortunate that a good friend of mine and a young minister that goes to our church is the caretaker of our district campgrounds, and he's having a barbecue out there tomorrow. So I'll probably throw some horseshoes, uh, cook some meat on a grill, and go to the fireworks tomorrow night.
Where are
Just
the
the
fireworks? Minneapolis or what?
I'm probably going to go right here in Hastings. They have some great fireworks out it's actually at the golf course. There's a big grassy hill that slopes down to a bottom area where they launch the fireworks, and everybody just sits up on the hill. It's pretty cool. Small town America, baby.
Hey, speaking of America, which I love this country as much as anybody. I love it. I mean, I love America. I literally listen to the Star Spangled Banner every morning. Literally. It's one of my morning playlist songs. It's how much I love this country. The only thing that's disturbing about our country is that one of the highlights of the 4th of July, ready for this, is the hot dog eating contest. Like, what does that tell you about our country? That, like, the thing that all of us Americans look forward to is the hot dog eating contest on it's even on ESPN. Like, who sat down one day and said, you know something, Bob? Listen, Frank, I think we should start a hot dog eating contest and maybe we could get on ESPN with it. You know what? It happened, my friend. It's on ESPN. Our country airs a hot dog eating contest. Are we that hard up for entertainment? That's my question. Because my cousin Travis lives for the hot dog eating contest. He's like got it marked down in his calendar, right? Me, I can't stomach to watch it. I got a weak stomach, and I'm like seeing all those dudes eat them hot dogs, and I'm even starting to gag right now thinking about it. So back when Travis and I were in the room together, believe it or not, for a couple years, and every 4th of July, I'd come out, and he'd be like sitting right in front of the TV, like into the hot dog eating contest. And, he'd have an American flag bandana around his head. And, he's like us. He's like diehard American. He's like, I live for this. He's pointing at the TV. It was funny, man. Anyways, needless to say, yeah, the problem about Tampa is we have so many amazing fireworks, on the beach. The beach does an unbelievable fireworks. Downtown St. Pete, one of my favorite places to go. And then over here in South Tampa, right where the cruises take off, right by the port there,
Yeah.
they do an amazing fireworks display. So either way, I usually rotate all three. So I haven't picked which one I'm going to do yet. Kind of feeling the downtown theme this year because last year I was down on the beach for the 4th, and it's one of those things that, I get a lot of invitations to come and speak out on the 4th of July weekend because a lot of churches do a lot of, and I decline it every time because I hate to be gone on the 4th. This is like, it's my holiday, man,
Yeah. I don't. This maybe is weird, but I don't know anything about the hot dog eating contest. That's the first I've heard of it. I don't relate the 4th of July to that at all. So, no,
You're kidding, Mike. Google it, man.
I'm gonna
Find a
now.
TV and watch a little of it.
Hmm. Is it like an international thing, like the
Yeah, I
American
mean,
team
it's
versus
huge.
the Japanese team? And
Yeah, no lie. I mean, bro,
wow,
the skinniest guy in the world wins. He's a Chinese guy. I mean, I think last year he downed like 206 hot dogs. I think, if I'm not mistaken, 196 or 206. I'm sure one of our researchers out there could Google that for me. But it was insane. I don't even know how he's not dead. Like, to me, that's like that you would die, But they got to do it without throwing up. They got to do it in a certain amount of time. We're talking about a whole hot dog with a bun. No, I don't know if they have to have a bun on it. I don't think they have to have a bun. I think it's just the hot dogs. Yeah, you got to look it up, Mike. It's huge. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of people there. There's all kinds of sponsors and,
How did I miss this?
You ready for this? You ready for this? You're on the elevator with a guy, right? He just pulls up in a Porsche. You get in this fancy hotel with him. You're like, hey, man, what do you do for a living? He's like, you know what? I'm a professional hot dog eating contest guy. He makes a couple $100,000 a year from sponsors. That's the American dream. You can come into our country and make $200K simply by doing hot dog eating contests.
If you're good.
No wonder people are dying in our country.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, I got school teachers that don't make that much in 5 years, and one of our hot dog eating winners is making a couple, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year.
God bless America.
Welcome to America, my friend. I love this country. I just love it, And I'm like you, Mike. I'm the type of guy that loves to drive through America because I love all the different just scenes and cities and landmarks and we're big into landmarks. The unfortunate thing about us is, we travel to 12 different major cities in America. Unless we just happen to drive by, say, the Arch on our way to go feed the homeless, we don't get to see it. Because when we go do missions trips, unlike most, excuse the little, truth here, but unlike most missions trips that are really sightseeing trips, ours are not. We don't even have time to sightsee. It's like straight up missions trip. That's why we call it a missions trip. I think that the other people should rename theirs to sightseeing trips, singing in the park, pass out 1,000 flyers. There's no missions to that, my friends. Come on, let's get real about it. It's our show. We can say what we want. We tell the truth.
Yeah. In truth, we may squeeze in a midnight run to Pat's Philly cheesesteak.
Oh,
that's about it.
There's no question. That's like the extent of it. And it has to be at like 1 a.m. after we've 16 hours of serving. It's all good, though. That doesn't mean we're better than others at all. It just means that we do mission trips. That's all. I don't say we're better. Well, we are better. I mean, we're not better in arrogance. We're better in execution. Let's put it that way. How's that sound, Al? Al, Karen, am I okay there? Give me some feedback. All good? Mike, so that's good, man. You're gonna go have a barbecue, man.
Yeah, I think so.
Good.
Should be good. I'm still sort of in my mind. I'm thinking about professional hot dog eating contestants. It's just sort of boggles my mind. What a great country.
It's gonna take you to a whole new level in life, my friend. Literally, it's gonna take you to a whole new level.
I might be able to compete. I might have a shot, actually.
I actually thought of you. I thought, Mike Hopkins is one of the few guys that could do this. You and Joe Arata are two guys that I could see doing this. I just think you have the mental ability to stuff hot dogs without throwing up because you're mentally strong. Me, 3 bites, I'm vomiting. 3 bites.
Yeah. I'm thinking like July 5th through about August 20th would be detox time. That would pretty much be how that would work.
It's pretty much detox time like 5 days straight after a missions trip.
Yeah, that's true. That's also true.
Anyway, so it's all good. Listen, today's our show, and explain what Thursdays is all about.
Thursdays are the day that's nestled snugly between Wednesday and Friday. And and today is, of course, Thursday. And just like every Thursday, we talk about business development, entrepreneurship. Had a great show last week with Tommy. He's a young entrepreneur. And what's cool about entrepreneurialism is that you sort of start to hang around with people who have like minds and glean things from them. Tommy's a friend of mine. Turns out he's always had an entrepreneurial spirit, and so you sort of end up being like who you hang around, and you also sort of hang around who you're like. Kind of weird, isn't it? But so we've got a bunch of questions today. And for those viewers that are on here live, of course, the advantage of being live is that you can interact, ask questions, and interrogate us under the bright light. Okay. So by all means, ask questions. We've got some questions lined up, and Karen's already asked a question. Let's start with that, Matt, if you don't mind. We've got some other questions, but I'm going to jump to Karen's here because this is a great question. How does an introvert gain the courage to sell themselves and their business?
Well, let me encourage you with this, okay? There's the myth about sales, and then there's the truth about sales. The myth about sales is that you've got to be a silver-tongued, smooth-talking, outgoing, charismatic guy, right? That just got the chops, right? That's the biggest myth. In fact, some of those people are good salesmen. Most of them are not, because the myth of sales is that you've got to be this smooth talker, this fast talker. You've got to be real outgoing, real powerful, right? Yes, there is an element of confidence that you have to have in order to sell. There is an element of healthy self-esteem. There's an element of knowing how to connect with people. There is an element of you have to have conversations with people to sell. However, it doesn't, like some of the greatest salespeople I know, like that I literally know, would be borderline considered introverted. They're not really super charismatic, outgoing, they're not really smooth with their words. But the truth about sales is this, that people buy you long before they buy your product. And if you can show people that you care about them, this is the number one mistake the salespeople make, is they don't slow down to connect with the people that they're trying to sell to and show real, genuine interest. Many salespeople are starchy, they're scripted, they don't really slow down in the process of selling to really focus on building the relationship and really caring about the person. When you can care about people to the degree that when you're getting ready to sell them something and you can see that your competitor's product is actually better for them, that you say, something, Bob and Susie, I got to be very honest with you. As bad as I want to sell you my product, I honestly believe at this current time in your life, you're better off. And then you name your competitor's product, say, now they're my competitor, but I just know that, like, very few people get to that place of genuineness. Your sales managers would probably shoot you, but they shouldn't shoot you, because if you get to that place of where you purely care about the people and what's best for them, right, they feel that and they end up becoming lifetime customers, or they give you unbelievable word of mouth referrals. So you win no matter what. You win when you care about people and when you show authenticity,
Yeah.
When you show that you're sincere and you're honest. See, honesty, a lot of these fast-talking, smooth-talking salespeople say whatever you want to hear. A lot of them are not honest. And when you're not honest with people and all you're going for is the dollar or the sale, you might win that current sale, right? But you're going to lose long-term, because in order to succeed in sales, you've got to have long-term relationships and connections with people. Because what's going to keep your sales funnel going is word of mouth. And when you don't come across this way of caring, genuine, honest. Now, having said that, Karen, the question was, how do you gain the courage to sell yourself? Because you do have to sell yourself.
Right.
One of the ways to sell yourself is by not trying to sell yourself, because it's like what I tell guys that are single. Like, look, when you try to impress a girl, you're not going to impress a girl. Like, the whole act of trying, like, I'm really going to impress, like, just be genuine. Like, yourself will sell yourself. Like, the you, the character you, the kind you, the compassionate you, the you that knows how to connect with people. Just break the myth that you've got to be outgoing to be a people person. You don't. Just because you can't walk into a room and high five everybody, what's up? Hey, how's the kids? Just because you're not like that doesn't mean that you're not a people person. Some of those type of people, I'm borderline there, but I'm genuine when I do it. They're not sincere, and it's very clear, you know. But having said that, you do have to learn how to sell yourself. How you sell yourself is in ways that most people would not think how you sell yourself. You don't sell yourself by talking about you. You sell yourself with your actions of showing people, hey, this guy's straight up the real deal. This guy straight up cares. This guy straight up wants what's best for me. And then, of course, you know, the other way, Karen, is if you're going to be in sales, you have to you have to master the topic. You have to become a student of it. In other words, anybody that's in sales that's not reading a book every week about sales or listening to audio programs every day about it, they're not serious about selling, because selling is selling. Like, if you're not selling, you're not making cash. Especially if you're like myself, I'm 100% commission based. Like, literally, I have no guaranteed paycheck ever. Like, there's not one guaranteed paycheck that comes into my bank or into my hands. So when you're 100%, you know, commission based, you can't have a good day of sales and then take off for 4 days. You got to have a good day of sales and pretend it didn't happen and just keep selling and keep pushing. So, you know, sales is obvious. We could talk about sales for 8 straight weeks and never exhaust the subject. So much to cover about it, Aaron. But I can tell you this: start studying it like a freak, like determined to know more about sales than Zig Ziglar and Grant Cardone and Tom Hopkins put together. You know, become a student and a master. I can recommend some good sales book that literally changed my life. That's made me a much better sales. That's literally taken me from, you know, sometimes 50,000 to 200,000 to just, I mean, sometimes a small little change in your approach. Sometimes learning how to close is absolutely life or death in the world of a salesman. I know a lot of salesmen that are good salesmen. They've got people sold, but they don't know how to close. I know a lot of people that sell, but they don't close. And because they don't close, they don't get no cash.
You know, I was as I read that, and being an introvert, I can sort of relate to this, and I would agree with everything Matt said, and also say that you know, in relation to the direct question of how do I have the courage to sell myself and my business, two things. One is knowledge, and the other is courage. And they sort, or I mean, not courage. That's the question. One is knowledge, and the other is confidence. And confidence comes from gaining knowledge. And when I talk about that, I'm talking specifically like about a product. So let's say you know, start a business and you want to go sell that. One of the most important things that you can have is confidence in that product or that service. And the more you know about it, the more confident you're going to become about it. And so if it's something you really believe in, it makes it pretty easy. And I like everything you said, Matt, especially about connecting and being authentic. Authenticity is absolutely one of the number one things that you have to have when it comes to sales. And I think that you know, finding out what's best for the customer and being authentic about that is really the right way to approach the topic.
Well, I'll give you an example. Well, let me first of all answer Janice's question. I'll go back to the authentic part. Janice says, are there questions you can ask salesmen to find out if they're honest or not? Yeah, just by simply asking questions. Let me teach you something. If you're asking somebody questions and they get angry or they seem, okay, any other questions? Usually they're hiding something, and that's a diversion. Usually they're trying to, you know, make you feel uncomfortable to ask more questions. Like a true, genuine salesman will be relaxed. Usually a sign of someone's lying is they'll look away. Like if they're able to keep looking you in the eyes and they don't fumble over their words, they don't look like they're starting to sweat, they look relaxed, and they're not trying to oversell. Beware of people that oversell. I know a lot of people that oversell doesn't mean they're dishonest. It means they're not prepared, and it means they're not confident. It means they don't really know their product. True salesmen have this calm, cool, relaxed, hey, you know, like I literally have started to take the approach of, you know, it's kind of like how Mike and I are with Mission 25. You know, if I could tweet, we had 1,000 volunteers at Mission 25. It literally would make us look more successful, right? The reason why we don't oversell Mission 25 and why we haven't hinged our success on having a volunteers, that's not our definition of success, right? Our definition, like our like like saying, okay, let's if our bar is, hey, we want to have 1,000 volunteers show up in Detroit, that would mean we're successful if we hit that goal. We're actually almost of the philosophy that those that really want to be there and those that really have the heart for this are who we want there. So that's why sometimes in the world of selling, that's when I said, like, if you clearly see that this product is not what's best, and they would buy it, like they would buy it, right? They would literally buy it. Let's say they would buy it from you, but you clearly can see, you know what? I can't scam this person. Like, I just don't believe this is going to help you. Like literally, it's one of those things where it's discipline to do that, especially when you got to feed your family and you're broke, and you're maybe your numbers rely on that sale. But long term, it doesn't mean you take a passive approach either. It doesn't mean that you stop closing. It doesn't mean that you don't take no for an answer. I'm talking about if in your heart of hearts, the realness of you, if you would be ticked that the same product was being sold to your mom and she was being blindsided, then you have to have integrity and not sell it to that person even though they would buy it. And that's hard, and very few salespeople can do that because it's all about the numbers and it's all about the money, and it's true. But higher than it's all about the money and all about the numbers, it's all about the people. And when you make it all about the people, your numbers and sales may not be as high at first, but believe you me, long term, I'll give you an example. Probably one of the best books I've ever read in my life was called Clients First. And it's written by two a husband and wife real estate agents. Listen, if you watch them on YouTube, and I have, they're the simplest, plainest people you'll ever meet, right? They're not this like get out of a Hummer and he's ripped and she's got this Hollywood model body and they're dressed to the nines. They're like just everyday simple people, but they're multi millionaires and the top real estate in the world, literally. And this book tells you why. Clients first. Like they literally made it about the people. And when you can get there in your business and in your ministry and in your life, when it really becomes about the people, then you're going to have explosion in business long term. Not right away. Understand, there's fast sales, and then there's lifelong sales where you start building residual and you start building lifelong customers that trust you, that trust what you say, that you deliver. And then not only do you deliver, it's like the old saying, you under promise, you over deliver. And that's hard to get to in the world of selling and business. Business is hard. Let me just tell you, Mike and I can tell you right now, this is our business and entrepreneurship show. Make no mistake about it. To produce at a high level is stress. It's challenging. It's tough. It's hard. It's grind. It's commitment. It's literally holding yourself to a high standard and then even raising it higher. It's not accepting. A lot of us can get by. And when you do enough to get by, then it's like the book I read once called Broken Windows, Broken Business. Like sometimes you go by a business and maybe you see the sign is crooked. Is the business going to like go bankrupt next week? No, but it's a sign. It's a sign that there's something broken in that business. That's why, like, to me, the most important thing, one of the most important things in a restaurant is clean bathrooms or in any business. And it's like a business that will take care of their bathrooms, will take care of my steak behind closed doors on that grill. It's just my philosophy.
That's good. Circling back to the sales question too, I think a lot of times people get the misperception that sales is about coercion, and real sales should be about discovery, right? It's like discovering what the right solution is for the person that you're dealing with, and then connecting them to that solution. That's good sales. It's not coercion. It's connection. It's communication and understanding. So, good stuff.
Mike,
Yeah.
Sales tied to customer service. Like, one of the biggest mistakes that I made early in my selling career was I didn't place as high of a value on customer service as what I should have, and I paid for it. And it wasn't that I didn't care. I cared, I just didn't go the extra mile to show that I cared. And a lot of churches do this as well with their, discipleship. It's amazing how much soul winning and discipleship is tied to sales and customer service. How much they go hand in hand, and how we could learn from businesses that are incredible with customer service.
It's true.
That really care. You know what I'm saying? Like, any salesman can call, any car salesman can call you a week after the sale and say, hey, you know,
Did we lose you, Matt? Or did we lose me? Yeah. Hey, real quick, I wanted to bring this up anyways. I saw Karen say that a little while ago that she started reading after started watching the show, which is what a great testimony. That to me, that makes it all worthwhile. I think that everyone should be a reader. Thanks for sharing that, Karen. It's good to know that we're inspiring people to read more. I actually read an article this morning on what I think it was 9 things that millionaires do that poor people don't do, or the rich people do that poor people don't do. And one of those was to read, and not for enjoyment, but to read nonfiction, self-improvement, business improvement, those sort of things. So that was, I think, number 3 on the list. Interestingly enough, also flossing teeth was on there, but I digress. Hey, welcome back.
hey, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I just got kicked off here, right at the punchline.
I know.
I can't remember but basically was saying that, long term, when salespeople do this, see, you've got to go way beyond the sale. And you got to show people that when they're never going to give you another dime, that you still care. Is there anything I can help you with? When you know that they're never going to buy one more product, but you still care enough to follow up down the road randomly, it goes so far, man. It really does. It goes so far in the minds of people in the world of referrals. So make it your goal in business to get referrals. Make it not to ask for, yes, you do need to ask for referrals. Let me rephrase that. But make your business so unbelievable that your business grows majority from referrals. When you can get to the place where your business majority grows from referrals, where you only advertise just because, you want to just kind of keep it out there, but your business doesn't survive off advertising. When you can get there, that's how I know you've arrived, where you've really taken care of the people well, and you've really exceeded expectations. Remember, Walt Disney only had 2 rules. Walt Disney only had 2 rules. He said, if somebody asked, this is Walt Disney here, my friends, who to me was a business genius, a creative genius, right? Like, we could live another 500 years and never meet another like Walt Disney. But he said, somebody asked him, like, give me your secret to success. And he literally said, my secret to success is only 2 things. Pay attention to details, exceed expectations. Friends, I dare you to marry yourself to those 2 words right there. To those 2 concepts. If you're in business right now, and you can be a freak about details, and you can always exceed expectations. Imagine if you did this in your dating life. Imagine if you did this as a parent, as a husband. Like, see, our problem is average is the death of us. We die because of average. Marriages end because of average. Our homes, average. Our finances, average. Our businesses, average. Our churches, average. good is the enemy of great. Good is an enemy. Good is a curse. And the problem in business nowadays is they do good. And so good feels good. But instead of taking good and letting it feel good, let good feel, ugh. Let good feel like, Mike and I do this right now. Mike and I could coast. With what we've got going, we could literally coast. But we're sickened by it. We're literally sickened by it. Because there's a spirit of exceeding expectations that says, no, it's good, but it's not good enough. You know, like you literally have to have that mentality in business. It's good, but it's not good enough.
Also understand that when you push yourself past that point of good and you strive for excellence, you will hit resistance from people around you, and that's okay. Just understand that a lot of people have an average mindset, and they're like, well, you know, you're doing enough. No, we want to be great. We want to do the best. Sometimes it takes more work, more effort, and you got to push. So good stuff today.
You really do got to push. And we're about to close, but I just want to remind everybody, business is business. Business is business. It's brutal. It's you know what it is? Business, you can sum it up in one word, 3 words, whatever it takes. When you're in business, whatever it takes. If that means you got to stay up till 3 a.m. and get back up at 5 a.m., if it means you've got to drive 6 hours to deliver a product to a customer, if it means that you've got to reimburse someone because they got a bad experience, whatever it means exceed expectations. If they expect one thing, if you think their expectation is here, then you deliver here. Exceed the expectation. Don't just meet the expectation, exceed the expectation. Why do you think Walt Disney said the first thing he does is pay attention to details? Pay attention to details, exceed expectations. And now, my friends, I've just beat myself up so bad that I'm going to work like a monster today.
Awesome. Well, tomorrow's the 4th, but we'll be here.
We'll be here. We'll be here competing with the hot dog eating contest, supporting the red, white, and blue. Hey guys, we love you guys. Thank you so much. You're always welcome to go to fuelforsuccess.tv and watch any previous episode. I will tell you, we have a surprise coming out on episode 150. Also, go to iTunes. You can download these right onto your smartphones or your iPods. You can listen to them anywhere. You can literally take us anywhere you go. Anywhere you go, you can bring Fuel for Success with you if you download them on your iPod or your smartphones. Okay, thanks. Hey, to all of our live viewers, thank you. To anybody watching later on the archives, thank you as well. We really appreciate you. God bless you, my friends.
See y'all tomorrow. Have a great Thursday.